Welcome to Bay Rats and Buoys with your host, Captain Gage.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bay Rats and Buoys. We are live at the 2025 New York Boat Show here at the iconic Javits Center in New York City. And I have the pleasure of sitting here with Sean, who is in the house at the boat show for Everglades and WorldCat. You helped them set up and run their booths.
Yep.
And you've been in the industry a real long time, Sean.
Yeah, over 30 years.
Over 30 years.
I don't think I've ever had a job since the late 80s that was not in the
maritime business,
in the boating industry.
and you've been you captain, you do it all, you do
captaining, sailing. I started as a sailor on the Great South Bay on the South Shore of Long Island. That turned into a career. I put myself through school in San Diego running small cruise ships and charter boats.
Right.
And that turned into me working for multiple manufacturers over the years.
Right. So today you're here because of Everglades and WorldCat at the show.
That's correct. Actually, Island Yacht Sales and Management brought me
in Lindenhurst.
In Lindenhurst.
Yep.
They are one of the premier Everglades WorldCat dealers in the country. They asked me to come in and design their booth, set it up, and help them sell throughout the show.
Nice,
so
real nice. One of the guys in my marina actually has a beautiful Everglades boat, and he got it at
through Chet and his boys over at Island Yacht.
That's it. So I hear the name mentioned all the time. I know the mechanics over there. It's like, that place is famous. Everybody knows about it.
They're great guys. They really are. They're self-made. Chet built that business on his own. I knew him when he was younger. Known him for a long time. He dated his sister years and years and years ago. Back in, I knew him when he was a little boy.
And there was a gentleman that came in yesterday and told me that, hey, I watched the Bay Rats and Buoys podcast show, and I got a WorldCat. I'm out of Smithtown, so he got that over there at those guys, So they're a great dealership, and
they're
I know
a great dealership. They take care of their customers. They definitely do. They have their customers become their friends.
Now you go way back in this industry, way before Everglades and WorldCat, and I mean you were dealing with some iconic boats like Mako, which is today is like it's like you have a vintage Mako. It's like it's got value to it.
Yeah, I started with Mako before it was purchased by Bass Pro Shops back in the mid 90s, and I started with them in a captaining capacity. I used to run the boats for them at the NYBoatShow, and then ultimately I walked into the office of the CEO and said, hey, I'm ready to work for this company in a different way, and they gave me a shot as a young kid as a regional manager. And then my career was off to the races.
That's it. You ran away with it from there. That's all you needed was that little taste of salt, and you were gone.
I was in it.
And you also do boat deliveries, and you're a captain as well, so you drive.
I fall back on that. I just recently ran a 55-foot Valhalla from Staten Island down to Nassau in the Bahamas.
See, how much fun was that? How long that? Give somebody a perspective. You left when, and when did you get there?
I left. Let's see. I did that in 4 days.
Okay. So it was a 4-day trip.
I laid up a couple days in Palm Beach. We did some work at the Viking Yard there, and then ran across when it laid down.
So there was weather. There was weather in your way, and you had to.
Yeah, I mean, we could have run, but there was no sense in beating up the boat if we didn't need to.
And you can get your ass kicked too. Is correct.
You can, and that boat's it's a beast. It's a
I'm not saying that the boat. It's just just days where you say, you know what, I don't want to go out there today because it's a little too nautical.
It was it was sporty. We ran the first day. We ran down to Atlantic City. We did that run from Staten Island to Atlantic City in about an hour and 40 minutes, which was pretty fast.
That is fast,
yeah. We were flying. The next day was sporty, heading down. We ducked in at Norfolk going into the intercoastal there. But it was a rough day, but the boat handled it well. No, it was a good run.
And when you say you're running and you're going pretty fast, what are you cruising at? What kind of
that 45 miles an hour, 50.
Right. You could say it. Tell them they're happy to hear. They're right. Yeah, that's moving.
And that's most of them. I mean, that's my experience with even when I'm running. I have a lot of offshore experience with the Everglades, which is hands down as far as my as far as all boats go. That is the best boat offshore from a comfort standpoint.
Right.
It's the best. I took their 45 on a introductory journey. We were going out marketing it. I took it from Pensacola, Florida, around the Keys, all the way up to Boston, and then back down to Jersey. I logged about 5,500 miles on that boat.
Wow.
And eventually delivered it in Venice, Louisiana, on the south, right in the mouth of the Mississippi.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It was cool, but that boat proved itself. That boat, it's a 45-footer. It ran as good as that 55 Valhalla or better offshore.
So you ran around Florida to the Gulf Coast?
Went through the Keys, did some photo shoots, came up and, I lived in the console for 2 months.
That's got to be a fun trip, though.
It was amazing.
That's a salty tale right there.
It was. It speaks to the level of testing that Everglades does with their boats. I mean, I was the guinea pig in a sense, and I came back with a good list of improvements, and they made those improvements, and which made the boat even that much better.
Well, that's why they do that, you know.
That's correct.
So they have to take your word when you say something needs to be addressed, and they address it. It's for good reason, you know, and it makes a better boat.
It makes a better boat, and you're a captain yourself. You understand when you have helm time and you start to see the little quirks and little tweaks here and there make it that much better experience for the customers.
Absolutely. And I'm a full-time commercial captain, so I actually see a little more than the regular guy out there because I see the mistakes people make and all the fun they get themselves into. Now, you also worked with Scout.
Short period of time with Scout. I did work at the factory for a little while, and then I actually was their top salesman for a while on the retail side on Long Island.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was helped to build that line back in its earlier days. And they're great guys.
I was just going to say, not only great guys, but it's another great boat.
It is. They're innovative. The Potts family they're wonderful people, and they've done an amazing job from what they used to build the small boats to the bigger boats now. So
speaking of great boats. Everglades. Yes. They're here today.
That's correct.
What are they showing off? What's the big? What model are you selling me on? Where am I putting my name on the dotted line today?
What's really cool about what's over at the booth here at New York Boat Show is that every boat that's in the booth for Everglades has been introduced within probably the last 5 years. So it's all new. They've got a great engineering staff there that's been developing new product. They do a really good job of going out and talking to the customers.
Right.
They talk to the dealer network. They talk to the retail customers, and they find, hey, what do you like about your Everglades now? What don't you like? How can we make it better? What are you looking for? And so they don't rush it right out. So when it comes out, it's
got the upgrades that people were looking for, which is so important.
It's so important. So they've got a new 28 over there. They've got their the 31. This it's beautiful 37, 375, and then they have the 39, 395. And they've also got the models because they're coming out with a new boat called the 367, which is it's more of it's similar to a dual console, side entry up to the bow, cabin down below, dual seating. The whole second row seat spins around. I mean, it's so innovative. It's gonna do so well once they build it.
Now, when they get any of the size boats there, they have an option to go with Yamaha or Mercury.
That's correct. Yeah, for a while Everglades was doing mostly Yamaha, but now with some of the newer product out there, especially the 600s.
Well, they're the ones that they got that niche in the market right now as far as the 600. And I did speak to the guys at Yamaha, and Yamaha is coming out with a bigger horsepower engine. It's definitely going to be we'll see it shown in the next year or two here. I spoke to them today, in fact, about it.
And the great thing about it is that the outboards have become so reliable. I mean, they all have their little quirks here and there, but for the most part, you can be confident running them offshore. You can be confident that you're gonna have a great experience with them. There's power. You get the speed that you want.
And the handling, the
handling,
trimming them, and the maintenance on them is just makes it so much that much easier.
Makes it much easier, and they've done a good job developing the engines to the point with like the joystick technology and all. For the average guy, he can go out and be confident in running the boat and not be worried that he's going to scratch it and bang into everything all the time.
Right,
it'll be better for him.
And speaking of technology, one of the best things they've installed on these boats comes in the form of electronics, and that's Garmin.
Absolutely.
So they are locked in on Garmin. Garmin's got that market dialed in for them.
Very much so. We at Everglades, they work very closely with Garmin, and they're a great group of guys over there. They've developed a digital switching system that's called Empire Bus, and Everglades is doing that now on every single model. And what's cool about it is people get a little bit concerned about electronic, like electric switching and all, but there's 5 levels of redundancy on it. So if one fails, then you can go to membrane switches. There's backup. You can actually run it on your phone through Active Captain. Which is, you're on your boat with your cell phone or your tablet, and you're running all of your equipment from there. They make it so that if there was a failure, there are backups to it, so that you can you're not going to get stuck.
I recommend in a couple of my podcasts, I recommend people have certain apps on their phone, and one of the apps that I always recommended to people that they should have Navionics, which Garmin purchased, and now that's even installed in their technology. So
And you can upgrade it. You can do it via the internet.
It's incredible, and I'm telling you, I tell people as a commercial tow captain, I almost couldn't work with that app without that app on my phone. That's how good it is.
Yeah, I do. I have it on my phone as well. Keep it on my tablet also.
I could share my routes with you and my You could have sent me the routes that you just went on, and I could have went down and done the same exact route.
Followed it to a T.
And it followed it to a T, and it is that simple to be able to share stuff like that. And as a captain, that makes our life so much easier. Especially, I just had nautical school on a little early, and we were just talking about chart plotting. It's one of the hardest part of the tests.
Yeah,
and people don't understand that. But now with the AI and the technology that's involved in all these GPS and the navigational tools that are built into these, Garmin is just they're top. They're at the top.
The art of navigation is changing, or the mastery of it, because they've done such a good job to make it user friendly. That's what's great about the Garmin is I can teach somebody very quickly how to navigate through it, how to operate it, how to utilize it. It makes it's very user friendly.
Which is key. When you turn it on, to be able to go through the settings, people are so afraid to touch and change things, and then they're like, but I always have that go back to default settings button.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? So they're afraid to make the changes, and it is really user friendly, and that is huge in this business.
If you give me a couple hours with a customer, I can usually have them pretty confident in operating through a Garmin system, right? And they're quick, and like with Everglades or myself, we make ourselves available to those customers. A quick phone call will help you pretty much navigate through anything, and there's a lot of support through Garmin as well.
Right, so they're showing those boats here at the boat show. They're over in the booth. They have amazing set. I mean, those boats are just incredible. They really are. And World Cat too is here.
WorldCat's what a phenomenal boat. The catamaran industry is really just
they've blown up.
It's rocketing.
They have blown up like the center console did. I mean, look at the giant center consoles nowadays. That business really blew up.
It really has, and there's a lot of benefits to it, especially in today with the rising fuel costs. The economy's good. The ride is spectacular. And one of the things that's nice about the WorldCat is WorldCat has a softer edge to it. A lot of the catamarans out there are more of they're a little bit more Spartan. They're more fishing oriented.
Right.
Where WorldCat has a nice balance of fishing and
Right.
family.
Yes.
And they've got a full line from 23 feet all the way up to 40.
Some of them have the sink, the barbecue, and everything. And the next thing you know, you're reeling in a tuna fish off the back because you can get out there and do it.
Yep. And with the cats, you've got the beam carries all the way forward. So the amount of room on their boats it's amazing.
It is.
Amazing.
Until you step on it, you don't realize. Because if you just look at it, you think, wow, okay, it's a cool riding boat. But when you get on it, then you see the space and the beam.
The beam is amazing. The stability of those boats, and that's why that's really gaining ground. I mean,
it has to be.
More people are opening their eyes up to it.
100%, it has to be.
Yep.
And because people, center console is a center console. We all know different hull styles. They all handle differently.
They do.
They do,
yeah. And when with a catamaran, a little bit of time on it, it reacts and moves a little bit differently than a monohull. But once you get on it for a while, you're used to it, and But the amazing thing is the range. I took a catamaran from Palm Beach up to Long Island this summer. And I left North Carolina, Oriental North Carolina. I made it to Long Island in one day. I didn't even have to stop for fuel. I did over 500 miles in a day.
That's incredible.
Without stopping. And that's unheard of usually on most boats, and especially in a 40-foot quad engine boat.
And it's fuel efficient enough to handle that and come up. And how much gas does it hold? What was the capacity?
Give it I think that boat was about 500
just
gallons.
Just
right around there. 500-600 gallons.
500-600 gallons.
But, and you don't even think about it. You make it without stopping, and you got good weather. It was amazing. I never made it that trip that fast without having to stop before.
Right. So it was capable because
very
of
capable.
Their boat, what they designed, and the design of the boat.
Yeah, it was all in that your efficiency is considerably better than
So I got a guy, let's say he's looking to upgrade. He's got a 25-foot, 24-foot center console, and he's looking to upgrade into an Everglades. What would you recommend to somebody that's new and wants to get out and get into something bigger?
So when he's coming out of a what size?
Yeah, let's just say a standard 20-something foot center console boat. And he wants to step into something in the 30 or something bigger. Just something.
Oh yeah, I mean in an Everglades you'd be looking at the 28 or the 31.
There you go.
Yeah,
so,
I mean they're both. I mean the amount of amenities that are on those two boats, the ride is second to none.
Yeah.
Everglades are not built for speed; they're built for the comfort and for safety. So they're very safe running boats. They run comfortably. They may not be the fastest in flat water, but when it gets rough, they'll probably run faster because you're not going to get beat up as much. And those two boats are perfect for an upgrade.
And what I liked on them, they're putting on like bigger twin engines. They're going with twin screw. They don't have to put 4 across the back to power the boat.
That's correct.
You know,
we have
so
a 39 over there that's running with a 39-foot boat that's running with twin 600
Mercs. Yeah,
Yep.
that's and are they Verados? But whatever. Mercury, those engines are so quiet.
Amazingly quiet.
I mean, you don't even know they're on.
You can barely.
So
hear
you put the
them
boat
sometimes.
in gear. You didn't realize you were
wouldn't
sitting
even
in
know.
neutral.
Yeah, when you can run, it's nice because when you're running long ranges, say you're running a canyon here,
Right.
and you're running for 2-3 hours, and those engines are, they're revving high. The older outboards, I mean, it can get to you after a while.
That
but
noise, yeah,
these
the
are
sound
so
of that.
quiet. You and I can have this conversation like we
Driving
are right now at 40 miles an hour offshore. It's pretty nice.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So-
I captain these boats for people, and I can't believe when I put it in gear how you didn't even know it was sitting in neutral. You didn't even know it was on. I almost like you want to start the key, but I put it in neutral. I'm like, oh my God, look, we're in.
There are people that come back to the dock and don't realize they're running, and they'll go home and come back with, why are there all these hours on my boat?
Right, because I left the boat running. That does happen, guys. That's a true story right there.
Yep.
So that's the Everglade you would recommend to people, and
Yeah, there are a few smaller models. They've got the 25 and the 27, which are the 3 Series. They're bay boats, or hybrid bay boats, I should say. They have a lower gunnel, but man, are they great boats running in the rough water. Those are good options if you want to just kind of get your feet wet in the smaller boats of
Right,
Everglades.
right.
But when you get into the traditional deep V, you're looking at 28 to 31 as your 2 smaller boats, and then it grows from there.
Yeah.
They've got all the way up to a 45-footer, which is a phenomenal boat.
they didn't bring the 45.
The 45,
footer.
no, they didn't bring it in there. Sometimes you got to make a decision on.
There are some big boats in here. Well, that's it.
Yeah,
You only got
yeah.
so much space to
Only
deal
so
with,
much,
and the
yeah.
logistics behind this show. You got to give the National Marine Manufacturers Association credit for pulling this off. What they do with this boat show for New York is absolutely incredible.
It's incredible, and they're such a great team. The NMMA, they're terrific. They're great partners wherever we go. The team here specifically, especially in New York, they're all.
I
they're
absolutely
awesome.
love them. I have nothing
Awesome
but great
deal
things
with.
to say. Yeah, they make
really
it
are.
so easy.
Yeah, they do, and it's amazing how quickly we set this up, and we have to be out of here by Monday night, and we'll have this whole place empty. Within
I'm leaving
24
tonight.
hours.
I leave tonight,
Yeah,
and
it's
the
amazing.
logistics to it is
Yep.
incredible. Meanwhile, it took 10 days to load in. It was last Monday
There's
that we were
more
loading
yeah,
in.
There's more precision on the move in,
Yes.
obviously.
Yeah.
And
The
on the
setup.
move out, it's like, let's get it out of
Yeah,
here.
boom.
Let's go.
But the West Side Highway, the trucks leaving with all these giant boats on them. It's an incredible feat.
It's hard
it really
enough
is.
driving to Manhattan just in a car, but to have a
could
trailer
you
behind
imagine?
you and a boat.
And getting out of here with a wide beam on it, So kudos to
It's
them for
pretty
pulling
cool.
it off. It really is. It's a great show.
It's something to see. I always thought they should do a time lapse of the move-in to watch how this place goes from empty to just being a beautiful boat show in a couple days.
It's a great
Yeah.
idea. Now, were
Yeah.
you here yesterday?
I was, yes.
I mean, it was packed
It was
yesterday.
packed.
You
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
couldn't move in here
Yeah.
yesterday.
And it's good to see. There's some real good buzz. People are buying boats. It's a good time to buy a boat right now.
Oh yeah,
we're,
absolutely. There's sold signs on the boats today.
There definitely are. There's some good deals to be had out there, and you got to get a boat now so that you can have it for the summer.
So it's ready in time.
If you don't do that, you may not be able to build one in time for.
And so
when
that's
you wanna
another
use
good
it.
question.
Yep.
Is there a build out? Could we order a brand new Everglades custom and do something? And is there a build out time, or are most people taking stuff off of the showroom floor of something that's ready?
It depends. They're probably about 50-50 right now. Some of them are ordered. And if you need to order a boat, you need to start thinking, it's time to do that. Because by the time the Miami Boat Show and all these other shows happen, next thing you know, the bill schedule is full and you can't get your boat this year.
No, right. You got to think a year out if you're going to build a boat, and sometimes it's a year and a half.
Sometimes
it depends on the manufacturer. And I'm just saying that.
Yeah, it's gotten a little better since COVID has slowed down here. But during COVID, it was pushed out pretty far. But now, you still need a little bit of time on these bigger boats. But there's some inventory out there too, and there's some good deals to be had right now.
Absolutely. Now, you have any social media links we want to share with the people if they want to go? Everglades.com. Where should they be going?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, just go to the websites for Everglades and WorldCat because they have really good information there. Lots of videos. You can go to Island Yacht's website as well.
Lindenhurst. So what I'll do, guys, is I will put the links in the description to both Everglades WorldCat and Yacht Sales in Lindenhurst. Yep. So we'll do that.
Yeah, we'd love to.
So we'll put them in. And Sean, I tell you, it's amazing. You're a real nautical guy, and I knew that when I met you, and I heard the backstories. I mean, between you driving the Makos way back in the night, how long ago was that? That was
a long time ago.
Exactly.
It was a lot of fun, and it was an iconic brand. It's as a kid, everybody wanted a Mako, and to be able to actually have worked for that company was That was really cool.
I'm really close with somebody in my harbor that has like a 78 or a real old. I mean, the railing on it is like 3 inches thick.
They were very well made.
They were very
time.
well made. It's a beast of a boat. So
it certainly is.
And it shows that they're still out and driving them around. They're here. You know what I mean? So
and you look at the boats of those era, how simple the centers were and where they are now. I mean, it's amazing what's on the average center console.
The
now.
evolution of the center console.
Just,
everybody's looking at some of the big ones here, and it's just incredible what they've done. They got quad engines on the back, and
I can remember coming to this show with my dad years ago and looking at a 200 and going, "Wow, look at that engine! How big that is!"
Right
now, I'm standing next to a 600. I'm 6'4", and it's got me by another 3 feet in height. It's so big.
They are those 600 Mercs are absolutely unbelievable.
They're unbelievable.
Yeah,
like the technology there.
I'm going to come over to the booth. I got to check out these Everglades with the
dual.
I got to check it out, guys. We'll send some pictures. We'll put some stuff on the site. Descriptions will be in the link to this video. Sean, I got to thank you. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming on the podcast. Absolutely awesome, guys. Captain Gage, Captain Sean at the New York Boat Show 2025. Javits Center signing out. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.
See you, everybody.